Yeah, now it started. Oh, I need to add the game. Okay, so how do I add you as a thingy? That's the question. Is it only available when I'm streaming from my phone?
You're in hell, is there a way to get out of hell? Are there other dimensions? Did I live a good life? It's okay, but I got 4 out of 10. What were you? I'm Santa Claus. Really? So you lied? I want to make jokes from time to time. You lied?
Okay, yeah. I'm ready. Ready?
You ready?
Oh.
Yes. You gotta fly low to the ground, and when your RWR says launching, and you see enemies on the top half of the RWR, you gotta start chaffing and flaring while turning.
Okay.
Show the chaff and flare.
So it increases chance of survival.
Yeah, because then it shows the reflective chaff and the heat of the flare.
Oh.
But if you basically, another thing you need to learn is that when you flare and you're trying to flare off an infrared missile, you need to turn off your afterburner.
Okay.
And don't you get napalm in that jet?
I don't know. Maybe I can check.
You should probably use it because then you can bring less bombs and more missiles.
Oh. How far does your radar see?
I'm set on minimum radar. Let me quickly just expand it. 148.
Oh. Yeah, that's I can only see 46. And your jet is 12.7.
Yeah, although it should be 12.3 because it doesn't get the radar missiles, but
Huh.
Gaijin will never listen. They said it's 12.7. Why? Because I get Python 3s.
Huh.
Which I guess is a valid reason why, but still feel a little bit cheated out of fairness. Because Python 3s are not as glorified as they are in real life, because in real life, Python 3s basically do not vector in for how hot something is. They basically look for the biggest hot heat source. So your chaff will have to be as thick as an engine,
Okay.
basically, for it to even be able to be flared off of you. But it comes at the cost of being very heavy and not.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get the warning at all.
An F-14. Did your RWR not even go off?
Huh?
Did your RWR even go off?
No. I don't think so.
Yep, he got me as well.
God damn.
Phoenix missiles are insanely accurate.
Unfair.
It is.
I wasn't flying really low, I guess, but not that high either, I would say.
You wanna do a few more matches and then we switch to ground?
Okay.
I am. Ooh, my friend. Okay, he's not online yet for Warhammer 40k, that game that I was playing a little bit earlier.
On the mobile?
No, it's not on mobile, it's Warhammer 40k Gladius.
Yeah, on mobile. I have that at least on my mobile.
But it costs money.
Yeah, but I'm not paying anything for it.
Also, did you see the...
No, I meant Tacticus, that's something else, I guess.
That's a little bit different. Also, did you see the episode of Family Guy where they parodied the King of the Hill?
What?
The Family Guy episode that parodies King of the Hill.
No, I don't think I have. Is it new?
Looks new.
Oh, I'll check it out. It's probably on Disney Plus.
How is Family Guy on Disney Plus?
Because Disney owns so much.
Now they want to own Warner Brothers as well.
No, that's Netflix. Netflix purchased Warner Bros.
Now they purchased...
And the DC universe and then everything.
Yeah, no, Netflix is gonna ruin that.
Turns everything to Witcher.
My god, Nicknut 29 already locking me.
Huh. I actually saw there was a new Witcher movie with Dolph Lundgren. didn't look too bad. I watched it like 30 seconds. Oh, now something is aiming for me, I think.
Okay, yeah, so basically what you gotta do is you gotta turn away from them,
Yeah.
fly perpendicular, and basically spam chaff and flares. That's how I know to notch. That's the only way I know how to notch. Or just go really low and start notching. You gotta turn away like that and notch a little bit until you hear this warning sign go off. There's an F-111 coming that way.
Yeah, so. No rockets, what the hell?
Shift Q to get rid of it, or to switch off weapon select.
Shift what?
Shift Q, I believe. No, that's bullshit. There's no way an AIM-7P got me.
I'm not sure how to shoot missiles or lock anything. No? Should maybe try the test flight thingy so I can actually learn something.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Or custom battle.
You should probably rediscover what your keybinds are, eh?
Yeah. Okay, first maybe check what missiles I had. Modification.
You're carrying a heavy amount of bombs.
Was it the Sky Flash that had the best range?
What the hell, Sky Flash?
I don't know. Air-to-air missile. I have AIM-7E, AIM-9G, and Sky Flash, which is the newest one, it seems. Hello, Tamara. Playing with my friend from Namibia in Africa. It's well, he's only 1 hour ahead of me in time, so. Let's see. Sky Flash dogfight. Front aspect, 37 kilometer lock range, 50 kilometer long launch range. How the hell does that work? Oh, the jet fuel lasts for 50 kilometers, I guess. On the chat said hello to you, my friend from Namibia.
Who was it?
Tamara.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, she's been following quite a long time. From America. America!
We didn't play with her at any point, right? I feel bad if I forgot someone.
No, she hasn't played. She just follows. Okay, how... They need to make a new preset, I guess. It doesn't seem like I have napalm. I think I'm just gonna force myself to learn missiles by only having missiles and then Gao 4 cannon so I can try to engage.
What you first need to do is learn how to use infrared missiles. Don't use radar missiles because they are pretty confusing. I don't even use them properly yet.
Okay, I think you just need to first lock onto the target and then second lock or something, and then you can fire.
Now the thing is that if you have infrared missiles selected, right?
Yeah.
Then if you lock someone, it's just going to put the lock onto of your infrared missiles onto that target, and it's going to track for heat source.
Oh.
I don't think you have all aspect missiles. Pythons, which are all aspect missiles.
Sidewinder 9G says rear aspect.
Yeah, so basically what your infrared missiles are is you need to lock basically from the side and from behind is the best bet that your missiles will track properly.
Okay. And I have the Sparrow. Oh, it's called AIM 7E Sparrow. It says
those are your radar missiles.
I banned front aspect, shoot down, whatever.
Yeah, those ones you can use from any aspect.
Okay.
I'm always angry.
The car is still not back.
No.
Oh shit.
Let me just go quickly make sure that she's fine.
Okay, now I can check the controls. Select radar, T plus Alt.
I will leave you to figure out the missiles. I'm just gonna go make my mom some tea.
Yeah. And lock radar, F plus Alt. Switch radar, RSTST search on off or off. Alt plus R. God damn it, this is confusing. Change radar, RST mode. Switch between, it can't just be one button. Let's maybe I can just use Q and E. Target lock, Q. Okay, so how the hell do I shoot the missiles? Fire air-to-air missile, left control, Alt plus left control. Okay. Lock target. Okay, I'm just gonna try test flight. Hmm. I'm confused. I can't really see which missile I'm using. But oh, okay, so I now shot radial missile without locking, I guess. What the hell? Okay, so it's confusing because I can't really. Yeah, how to change the radar type. Doesn't tell me much. Because now I only have 19 kilometers of radar search.
Hey, caramba.
Mom is not happy. Anyways,
Hmm.
I'll see you, Eric. My friend's calling me. I just hear.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
yeah, but okay, lock radar. F plus Alt. Select radar. G plus Alt. Switch radar RST on off. Switch between radar and RS. Alt plus A. Oh, okay. I see now, I think. Hello. I'm playing with the premium Phantom British at 12.0. I'm trying to learn how to use missiles and shit. I'm guessing the F-18 is 13 and it's an up tier. Yeah, I'm just having issues with those F-14s. They can like shoot me down. I can't, I'm not even getting a warning. Yeah. No, what the... No! Okay, so I guess those missiles doesn't even give off a alarm. We're just gonna play a little in test flight so we can play without dying so much. Where are they? Oh, here.
Attention, approaching target.
Wait, isn't this the... What? Or... Weaponry... Fire rocket left control. Oh right, I'm thinking wrong. Rocket is the dummy, just that goes straight, and missile is the smart one that follows. I guess. Fire air to air, all plus left control. Weapon lock, air to ground. Air to air, alt X. Why is it? It doesn't fire! Ah! So annoying. Oh yeah, so I can choose the correct missile. If I try to use the radar lock and I have chosen infrared missile, it won't work, I guess. Yeah, weapon lock. What the hell? Switch secondary weapons. Oh, it was not selected. Okay, and then I need to try and use air-to-air missile alt plus, is it something else chosen there as well? Left. You can just bind that and it will just switch with no menu needed. Okay, so is this the correct lock or is this thing? I thought that was for infrared. Is this locked now? Oh. No, come on. I don't want, okay. What the hell? Oh, they shoot. Yeah, is the green square. Doesn't mean it's locked, or do I need to wait even more? What? Schrage Musikcannon? What? Okay, just see. Oh, and so many choices here. Weaponry, fire missile. Okay, so... No, doesn't make sense. Okay. What? I thought... Okay. Okay, I'll try again. Why is it not locking? Ah. Ooh, okay. So even though it looks like the rocket disappears, it still goes. But it seems like some of the other missiles have much, or radars has like twice my range. So I guess I need to fly really low and like try to shoot them from below. Yeah, thank you for the help. Like, I can now try. Maybe I just have to find a way to fly and get close enough. Since I think my friend's fasejade jet had like a radar that could see 100 kilometers. So okay. Oh yeah, cool. 4,000 hours. That's. I think I have 1,500 or something, but I mostly play ground. Oh, yeah, well, I prefer playing ground simulation. And also sometimes use a propeller airplane. It's so satisfying to actually get the bomb kill in simulation. That guy flies quite high up. So now I can just spam the button and hopefully see something. But then again, 46 kilometers is not long in the air. Oh, the Mirage, they have good missiles, don't they? Come on, lock something! Sure. It locked on the roof? What the hell? Why doesn't it lock? Oh god damn it. Elsewhere. Uh-oh. I think I went... Ah, crap. Yeah, but the range I was there should have been less than 46 kilometers. Yeah, again. Should have been able to get killed there if I just figured out how the damn thing worked. It feels like infrared missiles lock on much faster, but they can be dealt with using flares. I guess their onboard computer thingy is not as good either as the radar missile. You can send a link to me if you can't. If you can't send a link in the YouTube chat, you can just send it to my Discord. Or I have the same username as this, yeah, YouTube name. Hello, Chantus. Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to fly with the jet or shoot with missiles. That's the trickiest thing, I think. Because first I have to lock. Okay, Sparrow. Oh, 4 nukes? God damn, they're near a good player. I have not gotten a nuke yet. But then again, I usually play below BR 7.0, so... Okay, why is it not locking? Oh, was that too late? Ah. Okay. Come on. Is that an enemy? Okay, so... Come on, lock, you piece of sh... Oh, he died. Ha! Yeah, but the Sparrow, isn't that pretty good? Or, well... Radar lock is required, but come on, lock then. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. So weird. And then in the test flight, it works much faster. Maybe I have managed to place 2 buttons on the same thing. Oh yeah, I can do that. Okay, because first I have to press middle mouse button, which I assign to T, Alt, or middle mouse button. Or is it... Doesn't it work to have two buttons on the same, or two function on the same button? Oh, yeah, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I have to select the radar, and then press F, but since I have the two on the same ones, they try to lock, and every time I press it switches and also tries to lock. Okay, so if I just remove... Yeah, like this, and F. And then I can keep... I don't really need... Yeah, I'm just quickly gonna go to the toilet. Yeah, I'm just gonna try again. Select radar itself, lock radar, and then it should be fine because now I can... I guess I should maybe have the infrared as well. Um... ERST, is that infrared something? Okay, so they work, okay. Change radar scope scale, is that how far they see? I guess I just have to learn. Look target, not what? They do have a lock target, don't I? Oh, fire chaff, I have not. Oh, that's why I haven't been able to dodge any radar missiles. Oops. Okay, yeah, I'll just try that. What? Lock target. Alt X, what does it mean? Okay, try again. Yeah, I'm trying to learn how the radar missiles work, because I guess they do have an advantage, because they work from a greater distance. Yeah, I forgot the buttons, fuck. Oh, F and lock and change. I chose the button here. Okay. So now I just need to go closer. There's actually a F-16 that flew over almost where I live and broke the sound barrier, so a lot of people call the police because they heard a big bang. F-16 they're gonna sell off to Romania, and Romania's gonna give it to Ukraine or something. Okay, when will they arrive? It doesn't look right, it's shaking so much. Can't believe it does that in real life. You're sitting in a jet. When you go. Why is it not locking? Oh! Come on, lock you piece of. Again? Okay, I'm gonna watch that movie.
Of Fox 3 missiles, some things have changed, and today I want to look at BVR and just some general radar missile tactics and just how to use them in general. Now, if you want a full guide on how to set up your radar, how to operate it and all those things, I recommend you check out the video that I put in the description. It's a full guide on the actual radar systems. In today's video I will summarize it very quickly just to have a little bit of background knowledge, so this will be a standalone. But if you want more info, it will all be over there. See the radar like a flashlight, and when you try to shine your flashlight at one thing, you will also illuminate everything around it. So your radar is the flashlight, the planes are mirrors, and the bigger the mirror, the bigger the return, and the bigger the return, well, the more likely the radar is to go for that target instead. It only cares about the brightest target. So if you have something locked up and you see that the missile is still going, just keep your enemy locked up, unless of course you see a missile go for a teammate, then break lock and make sure that the missile doesn't continue to team kill your buddy. Now, if you are using Fox 3, this is of course not as relevant, because once the missile goes active, the missile will not care about any inputs that the radar sends its way anymore. Then let's take a quick look at how to use these missiles at long range, because all the lines on the radar screen might get a little bit confusing. I'm using the wide TWS scope here. It's a little bit less accurate, but it makes it easier to find people. After you lock someone, you can narrow it, makes it a little bit more accurate. You have 2 dots on the radar. The one with the 2 lines next to it is the one that is selected, and if you want to cycle through them, you can press this button right here. There is no default for it, you need to set it up. Then we have the little frying pan thing underneath the bracketed box, that's the heading. So the little thing that you hold of the frying pan, wherever that is pointing, that is the heading of the plane. I'm waiting for them to get a little bit closer. I'm talking about the MAR and the NES in a second, but for now I just want to look at the radar screen. First I want to look at the uninterrupted lines. This is what the missile can see. Then we have the interrupted lines, and this is what the missile cannot see. So if you shoot it at long range and you break radar signature, so you stop updating the missile, and it's in that interrupted line segment and the enemy starts maneuvering, your missile will likely miss. So it's a good idea to keep your radar on the enemy until your missile reaches a point where it can see the target, and then you can safely turn around and make sure that you don't waste your missiles. And then on the right we have 3 lines. The top one in green is the max range of the missile. Then we have the MAR in red, that is the small line, and I will explain that one in a minute. And then we have the long line that's kind of overlapping the MAR line right now, and that is the targeted enemy, just so you can easily see in what range bracket the enemy is actually located. Now you might say it's pretty cluttered, how am I supposed to tell? Well, you'll see it quite obviously the second your missiles reach them. The little circle around the dot disappear, your missile is now active, and you can safely turn around. And that's exactly what we do right here. I'm staying in the fight for a little bit longer. I'm seeing if I can maybe shoot another missile off, but there's too many. I'm just gonna turn around, and my missiles are on the way. I know that they picked up the enemy, and if they don't watch this video, well, they're gonna be sent straight back to the hangar. Just like that. Let's get on the blackboard and start drawing some modern art. So the radar basically points its cone at an area, and this area will be lit up. Now the non-pulse Doppler radar is super sensitive and basically picks up everything, and this is also why it will not be able to cope with the ground effect. And the ground effect is essentially the light being bounced off the ground enough for the radar to pick it up. And this is why it turns into a hazy mess, because as you might know, the ground is a quite vast area which is all bouncing light back. And this creates a bit of a sensory overload where you see everything, and therefore you see...
Oh, that's why I managed to
Again,
lock on the
missile
building.
The further away you get from the ground, the less intense the return signal is, and the clearer the picture becomes. So it's a lot easier to find out one dot. And then you have chaff. Imagine that these 4 dots are all planes, and now one of those planes ends up dropping chaff. Are you able to tell what is the brightest return signal in this picture? I'll give you a few seconds. The way you beat these radars is by simply overstimulating them so that they can't see anything anymore. And this is why chaff and the ground are so damn strong. And this is where Pulse Doppler comes in. It fixes both of these issues by applying a filter. Now this is again not really accurate, but imagine it like this. You put on sunglasses while looking at the night sky. What do you end up seeing? Only the brightest of stars, and everything that is clutter or like very small dots in the air you won't be able to see anymore, and now you can focus on what is actually important. Now this is not completely accurate, of course the faint dots are gone and the bright dot is still there, but this is not how the Pulse Doppler works. The filter actually works with speed, or rather with closure rates, and this is the way that it's able to defeat ground clutter. The plane is going 1200 kilometers an hour, and therefore the ground is coming at the plane at 1200 kilometers an hour. The radar will simply say, this is stationary, this is not a plane, and therefore I'm not gonna be showing it to you. And with this logic, if you are able to have a closure rate of 1200 kilometers an hour, the radar will simply filter you out. The speed at which the radar filters you out is dependent on the radar set and the missile, but in general the missile has a wider range because it's less precise. A plane has a much bigger radar, a much stronger unit, and therefore it's going to be a lot more accurate, but in this example the change is going to be 50 kilometers an hour. So if it's going to go between 1250 and 1150, the radar will simply filter you out. So arbitrary numbers here, but you can tell 1300, it's gonna be 100% visible. At like the border, you're gonna be like 50-50. And if you are within the bandwidth, you are going to be invisible. Keep in mind that the percentages here are not your radar signature. You are either in the filter or you are not. I'm simply saying that if you are staying at 1200, it's much easier to stay within the bandwidth than it is when you are staying at 1250. Because if you are standing at 1250, you are going to bounce into like 1252 sometimes, and you are going to be visible, making it easier for the enemy radar to actually track you. And with Pulse Doppler, the ground still interferes a little bit. So if you are looking up at someone, you're going to have an easier time locking them as when you are looking down at them, especially if they are sub As of right now, 60 meters. Now they might change this, but if you are below 60 meters, then the radar is still going to have a hard time picking you up. And you might notice this if you are trying to lock onto someone else and he's very low. You can see that the box is just moving all over the place. That is multi-patting. Listen to missile number 1. There is one. And be careful if the missiles come from directly above you. They might just splash into the ground and you're probably going to get hit anyway. And here comes missile number 2. Be careful of uneven terrain. If you're at like 50 meters and there is like a dip in the ground that's 20 meters, you're now at 70 meters of altitude, you're not in multi-pad range and you are just going to die. Try to use the entire mountain instead of a little mound of dirt, because multi-padding as of right now isn't super reliable anymore, which is kind of funny considering, well, last patch it was the meta. And then we have chaff, and chaff is pretty simple. What it does, it fools the radar. Now if you are using a non-pulse Doppler, your radar is going to be very susceptible to it. However, if you have your target locked on, just as you saw in the intro, if you then chaff, yes, it will lock onto the chaff, but with continuous wave or CW, it will still go for the target because it's moving. And this is because it has a Doppler filter, and this has everything to do with speed again. So if you want to fool this radar, you want to chaff before he fires, and if he locks onto the chaff and fires the missile at the chaff, then yes, the missile is going to be fooled basically every time. If you chaff after he launched, you basically have to defeat him in the same way as the pulse Doppler ones. But we'll get to that in a minute. Keep in mind that the very early missiles get instantly fooled by chaff even after the launch if they don't have CW. Now with pulse Doppler it's a little bit different. As we talked about, it's all about speed ranges. And chaff is very, very slow. It slows down quick and it then just kind of floats. So even though the RCS or the radar cross section is so massive, it never gets picked up because it just falls into the filter. Now if you are also falling into the filter by maintaining a proper notch angle and you drop some chaff, it might fool the radar a little bit. So if you are like about to border on that range where you start almost getting picked up and you drop some chaff, you might be able to overwhelm the radar. Now don't see this as a win button, this is more of a booster. So if you are like on the border, if you're not maintaining a perfect angle, you might get out of it with chaff, but don't rely on it too much. See it more of a helpful booster instead of a win button. This type of combat has a lot of terms that you need to know to be able to follow what I'm saying, so let's get started with the first few. Let's get started. We have the F-15 on the right and it's the orange color, and here comes our first term. When you fly directly at your opponent, you are going in hot because you are engaging your enemy. The closer rate is of course the 2 kilometers an hour stacked directly on top of each other. Then we have the second one, we have going cold. We are flying away from the enemy, and it sounds a bit backwards because cold, you're looking at the afterburner, it doesn't really make sense. But in radar missile terms, going cold means pointing your ass towards your enemy. 1200 kilometers an hour yet again, and this time the closure rate is 0 kilometers an hour. And you might think, well, 0, that means that the pulse Doppler won't see it right. But no, the radar is looking for 1200. So flying directly away from your enemy is still going to get you picked up by the enemy radar. And you can already kind of tell where this is going. Going hot, you're too fast. Going cold, you're too slow. So what do? You start notching. And by notching, I mean flying 90 degrees to the enemy plane. This way, the plane is gaining on you as fast as it is gaining on the ground. And if you stay within the bandwidth of 50 kilometers an hour up or down, you're now essentially invisible because the radar is filtering you out because it thinks you are part of the terrain. It sounds kind of stupid, I know. And that's because it is. Now what the enemy can do to kind of counter your notch to actually get a radar signature again is simply fly straight. Instead of chasing you into the notch where you basically always point 90 degrees to the enemy plane until he gets close enough. If he just kind of flies straight and he passes behind you, you can tell that it kind of isn't 90 degrees anymore. So you have to adjust properly, you have to see what the enemy is doing and make sure that you actually maintain a proper notch angle. The next thing is going to be the gimbal limit. It's essentially how much the radar can look left, right, up and down. Because as you can tell, the radar is mounted on the gimbal. And the limit is just how much it can angrily tilt to a certain direction. This is plane specific. Not every plane has the exact same gimbal limit. And the gimbal limit comes into play with the tactic called cranking. Now this is mostly important when it comes down to semi-active radar homing missiles,
much information.
But it can also be used with Fox 3s as well. Now for the sake of the argument, both planes are using the same missile here and they shot at the exact same time. So guess what, if you shoot directly at each other and you fly exactly at each other, the missiles reach each other at the same time and you just blow each other up, and you want to avoid this. And to avoid this, what you can do is you can start cranking. In this engagement, we are again shooting the same missile at the exact same time, so if we do nothing, we blow each other up. But the red Su-27 turns out, and this does two things. The blue missile has to turn and lose energy while also flying a longer path because he's not flying directly at it anymore. Keep note of your gimbal limit though. You need to keep your enemy in the radar scope, especially if you are using a semi-active radar homing missile, because if you turn out too much, you basically start notching and you might defeat his missile, but you defeated your own missile in the process, which kind of defeats the point. And then once you start getting closer, you can tell that the blue missile is going slightly slower now because it has to turn, it has to lead, and the red missile can just fly full speed directly at the blue F-15. And by the time the blue missile reaches the red Su-27, the F-15 is already in his next game dying to another missile. And you might have noticed that the red Su-27 starts turning back in, and again it's the gimbal limit. If you start getting closer, the angle is going to be a little bit steeper, and to compensate you have to turn in a little bit to give your radar the ability to actually look at your enemy. And it's a little bit confusing, so let me simplify it for you. Blue line is flying perfectly straight, red guy is cranking, and you can tell that the green missile line is much shorter than the yellow one. And also keep in mind that the yellow missile is also traveling slower because it actually has to lead, making it less effective and taking even longer to travel the same distance as well. Now this also works with Fox 3 missiles, of course. At longer range you want to make sure that you actually guide in the missile before you start going defensive. If the enemy is not shooting anything back at you, it's of course not as important, but it's always a good idea to keep close to a notch angle so that if he shoots back at you, you are very quick to respond. Also keep in mind that if you only crank and the enemy does it as well, guess what? It's mirrored. You both end up eating shit at the exact same time. So yes, you have to do a little bit more than simply cranking. Now let's put these things together. We have the F-pull maneuver. So first thing, you start engaging. You start going into a little bit of a crank, but again, don't forget about your gimbal limit. It's not about guiding in the missile, it's about knowing where he is, because we are actually going to be waiting until he fires at us. And as you can see, the missile has to lead all the way to the top of the screen now. And what are we gonna do is kill all of its speed with a very simple maneuver. We're actually going to turn into it, and as we nose over his plane, we're going to fire a missile of our own directly at him, and then we're going to continue to turn out and basically maintain the crank just in the opposite direction. And what this does is make sure that your missile can fly directly at the enemy, while the enemy now has to, from all the way leading to the top of the picture to leading all the way at the bottom, because it's trying to intersect you. And this little maneuver cost him 50 years of his life, and he's essentially out of energy, while your Sigma missile can fly directly at the opponent without much energy loss at all. And you completely reverse the situation. He is in more danger than you now, you shot it at a closer range, your missile has more energy, and he has to defend at this point. If he doesn't, he is very likely to die to this missile. Now the funny thing is that if he's using a semi-active radar homing missile, when he starts defending, he basically lost the engagement, you now have position, you can close the gap, and he dies. If it's a Fox 3, you can start cranking to the opposite direction again, and guess what? You basically double F-pull this missile, because it's not gonna have the energy to track you at all. Now, if he does have Fox 3s, he's likely to shoot another one before he turns out, to put you in the defensive again, and you get this back and forth tennis match, but I'll give you some examples later on in this video to go a little bit more in depth. And then we have the no escape zone, or the NES, or the minimum abort range, or the MAR, and they are the exact same term, except the NES is the offensive and the MAR is the defensive term. Now the NES is dependent on a few things. It's a missile performance, it's the vector of your aircraft, it's the speed of your aircraft, as well as the altitude. So this is an ever-changing thing. For today, I'm just going to take into account the missile performance, just so there isn't too many variables. And you can tell that the circle isn't a perfect circle. That's because the more the missile has to turn to the sides, the more energy it will lose, the less energy it will have. But what do these things actually mean? The no escape zone is not the range in which your missile is sure to kill them. It's, as the name implies, it's the range at which the enemy will not be able to outscale.
I'm gonna watch it later. But yeah, that was a lot of information. Oh, I unlocked the Spitfire. Yeah, I'll just... which airplanes? They hit an F-18. Tornado. JAS Gripen. Cool. Just gonna continue down the line here, I guess. Again, I need to get a premium jet for Sweden as well, so I can grind and eventually get the Norwegian what was it, F-16. Yeah, is this, or are the sparrows in this thing considered early sparrows? Hmm. Okay, but consider if I just fly like this, at least from what I understood from the movie, I will only see air now, because the radar is below, and I won't be disturbed by the ground clutter. Let's try. Oh damn, so many F-18s. Like a whole different world when you get missiles and instead of all the dogfighting. Is the Sidewinder an ER? Oh, what? Yeah, it's gonna take a few rounds for me to understand, I think. Again. What did it say there? Don't wait to love until you're too old, or something? The next match I'm gonna bring bombs so I can actually get some more points. Is that a actual airplane or? I don't understand. Oh, there it locked. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna play. Oh, whoops. Lol. I was too busy watching the Mirage and I didn't see the jet below. It's now, yeah, I'm gonna play at least until midnight. I'm not tired yet. No! Oh, come on, I lost control. No. Ah, if that guy hadn't shot him, I could have gotten him. Well, I'm getting closer to a kill. It feels like. Oh, what? Oh, oops. Hmm. Yeah, hitting something with the radar missiles isn't that easy. Oh, come on. Well, another crash and burn. Oh, what? Ah, F14. Yeah. So I got up tier 2 battle ratings. I'm just gonna check for fun. F14. So, I guess I met. Holy crap, this thing has a lot. Can carry 6,000 pounds of bombs. Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, lock range 65. And I have 35 or something. Front aspect. Launch range 100 kilometer. 75-second guidance time. I guess that's the time the missile can fly. Yeah, it's pretty wild compared to my rockets. 120 kilometer. Yeah. That's like 3 times more than my radar can see. Well, let's try one more, I guess. And fly low. I'm not sure what I'm pushing now. Yeah, now I managed to do something with the radar, so it's not... Ooh, nice. My first kill, even though it was just a finishing touch. Where are the ground targets? Oh, we won. And I was not last on the team. That's an achievement itself. Okay, let's see if I can do something this match as well. It would be nice if I could reach base before it was bombed. That was lucky. No. I guess he was using infrared, since they are much quicker to shoot close targets like that. No, cancel. Play some ground. Let's see what the simulation loadout is today. Huh, what? Only these two? And sim. 10.7, I can actually use this thing. Oh no, it's gonna be too hard playing ground. Let's say Sweden. Oh, I don't have enough. 12, okay. So I can only play Japan, I guess. Yeah. Okay, back to sim low. And BRB. Shark, only 5 ton. It's a dangerous opponent. Yeah, first. This thing has heat. And this is anti-air at least. So do they both do. Guess I need to play this more so I unlock more ammunition types.
Height, 200 meters.
Defend the A point. No mercy. Attention to the map. Attention to the map.
前進せよ。了解。前進します。命中。進路上に障害物を発見。命中。戦車11時の方向。目標まで350。
Holding them back at least.
交代せよ。
No. This thing really so slow, really reversing.
装填します。三下。
Oh no, I can't repair.
Attention to the designated grid square. Attention to the map.
攻撃。座標。変更。ファイフ。破壊せよ。変更。ファイフ。了解。撃て。 戦車12時の方向直射可能距離前進せよ了解前進します
Where is that Sioux? Yeah, I have to be careful with my German teammates because I'm just guessing, but some of them don't know what Japanese tanks look like. American tank. Where is he? Behind the tent or house there, I guess.
Need backup.
前進せよ。了解。前進します。
Oh, what? Okay. Didn't see him at all. Oh, he was just standing still, sniping, I guess.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Reloading.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Cover me! Somebody cover me. Request tech assist. Request tech assist. Need backup.
Attention to the map. Attention to the map.
Somebody cover me. Request air recon. Attention to the map.
Keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Attention to the designated grid square. Somebody cover me. Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the designated grid square. Attention to the map.
No, 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 no. Come on. What the hell? Ah, so annoying with simulation. I didn't turn too fast there, but I guess I did. I earned something at least. So I don't have 3 vehicles, land vehicles for... Okay, I'm gonna try one more time, and then I'm gonna use the B-17. Only downside is that I might get or probably is gonna get shot down by fighters because they're gonna, yeah, try and shoot me down as soon as possible. I'm gonna try to go further down so I can actually see something. This should be high enough.
Attention to the map.
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Request targets for airstrike.
Attention to the map.
We're losing.
Oh, I hit something. Oh.
Attention to the map.
Attention to the map.
Well, I missed. Oh, I hit something. No, I got the kill. Nice.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
What?
Preparing.
Wait, is this the airfield? Is it such a small map?
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Oh yeah, they're gonna win. I think this is my last match for today.
Attention to the designated grid square. Attention to the designated grid zone.
Uh-oh. Ah, managed to land, nice. Uh-oh, this is going to hell. Wait, what? Such short takeoff lengths? Well, I will stop the stream now, so see you tomorrow, I guess. For some more driving.